on the Hawkeyes Sports Network. From Learfield, this is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Iowa Hawkeyes basketball. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. By the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. By University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. And by Authentic Brand. Look authentic, feel authentic, be authentic. Get your game day gear online at authentic-brand.com. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
And welcome to our first Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder of the season and a new location. Great to be live from Bumps at the Finkbine Golf Course, and of course a big week ahead for the undefeated 4-0 Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball team. The Big Ten ACC Challenge coming up on Thursday night. A trip to Cameron Indoor Stadium on the campus of Duke University, and then a little bit of an odd part of the schedule where there's a Big Ten game that slips in on Sunday as the Michigan State Spartans come to Carver Hawkeye Arena. And then, of course, the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk series against Iowa State from Ames. That is next Wednesday on the 8th of December. Coach Bluder and some of the other members of the staff out recruiting this Tuesday evening. Of course, a big night for high school basketball, so we're really pleased to have assistant coach Abby Emmert-Stamp here with us on the show. You've been here before. You're a veteran, and great to see everybody because it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a beautiful place here, and we've got a lot of great Hawkeye fans in the house. Good to see a lot of friendly faces, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, we'll talk Iowa women's basketball for the next hour, and the last time out was on the 17th of November. Iowa took care of Southern, and previous to that, victories over New Hampshire at 93-60, Samford 91-54, and then a big victory at UNI. First time this team tested on the road, 82-61, and then had to take a pause with the COVID-19 virus. And Abby, just talk about the last 2 weeks, and no game against Drake. That certainly hurt. And then no trip to Cancun. Lost a couple of games there. Seton Hall and University of Southern California. But now back practicing and getting ready for a big stretch here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just kind of backtracking, it's been a weird couple of weeks. Certainly the first couple of weeks of the season always just go so fast. I mean, it's game, and prep and thinking ahead. And we had actually just had a little meeting after practice. I think it was on Tuesday of that week, talking through Cancun and kind of informing the players of everything that was going to happen down there.
All the good stuff, right?
Yeah, a few of the things they were, really looking forward to. And then just within a couple of days, everything kind of went down with the COVID-19. So really a tough blow, obviously, to losing that opportunity for Coach Bluder's 800th against Drake at home was also something we were all, I know fans included, really looking forward to. So yeah, just a tough blow. And of course, anytime people aren't healthy, that's a hard thing as well. But Coach Bluder is just such a great leader. It proves it time and time again. And things like this, just not things that are written in many rule books, leadership books, or anything like that. But she and the rest of our staff and our players just absolutely handled it. And made the most of it, honestly. Got a chance to, there's a lot you can do still when you're, remote now. We were able to do quite a bit that way. Obviously, we've all really tuned into how to do that. And then the players did get to have some time with their families at Thanksgiving, which isn't always the case. So certainly found a little bit of positive in it. We were all back healthy today, which is an exciting thing. Nobody's tan, but everybody's healthy, so we'll take that.
That's more important,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. But yeah, we were excited to be back together today, and we're really, really looking forward.
Well, and you talk about the flexibility and the ability to adapt to change, and you saw that a little bit last year around the Big Ten and around the country. Had to shift games and maybe cancel a game, try to make it up. So players and coaches went through a little bit of this last year.
Yeah, definitely. Last year we were just so fortunate that it didn't hit us last year in this kind of manner. And so it is something that we really we did. Like you said, we had times last year where we had players that maybe tested like inconclusive before the game, and we had to wait all day and not know whether they were actually going to be able to play at the game at night or not. And so we had been through quite a few situations like that, like you mentioned. And so just another part of the resolve, not just for our student athletes, but all student athletes around the country, that they're learning through this situation here.
This team has to be just really amped to head to North Carolina and start to play basketball games again. And I guess the nice thing is you've got 3 now within a week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were originally, when we got the schedule, we saw this little stretch here and thought, oh my gosh, we're going to be tired. So now we're going to have a little more fresh legs for this than we had originally thought. But yeah, three really big games on the schedule, and no better way to come back than to get to go to historic, Cameron Indoor Stadium, be able to take on the Duke Blue Devils, who, interestingly enough, didn't play. They played 4 or 5 games last season and then set out the rest of the year for COVID-19. So kind of a unique matchup. New coach, haven't had a ton of games, but certainly have seen what they're capable of this year, and they're a really good team. It's going to be a big challenge for us.
How do you think so far the season has gone? It's been since the 17th that you've played, but really the first 4 games saw a lot, especially from the starting 5. McKenna Warnock, I thought, has played very, very good. Caitlin Clark, of course. And the bench play has, I thought, really started to progress from the exhibition game all the way through the Southern game.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a huge key for us, has been early and is going to be moving forward to continue to have some of that depth on the bench. Obviously, we lost a little depth with some injuries early in the season, but we've really seen, Kylie, Tommy, Addie, Logan Cook really step up coming in off the bench, which has been huge for us. And obviously returning all 5 starters this year, you kind of know what you're going to get out of them. And we've seen pretty much what we're capable of there. I think Kate Martin is the one that, she does a little bit of everything. Hasn't probably had like the scoring production that she's necessarily capable of. So once she gets on track there too, that balanced unit. And Gabby Marshall's another one that just hasn't got as many looks as what we need to probably get for her. But other than that, they're doing everything we're asking of them. We were really excited with the way that that 4-0 start went.
And those nights will come. You remember Gabby Marshall had some huge games a season ago, and Kate can score, and there's going to be nights where they are going to have an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you're going to see just so many different game plans. Obviously, the Big Ten is filled with outstanding coaches, and with Caitlin Clark being the best player in the country, I mean, we're going to see all kinds of different defenses thrown at her, similarly to what we did with Megan, where every night out it's going to be a little something different. And she's been doing a great job of staying patient through that kind of stuff and working through it. And there's going to be nights, like you said, that Gabby's just going to be wide open, and we know she's going to knock those down when that time comes. On the flip side, though, Gabby has been working so hard defensively. We gave her kind of the goal last season to be our defensive leader. That's been a big key for us, is turning around that defense. And she's one of the most talented defensive players that we have. And she's really stepped up in her voice and her presence and just bringing that every day to the table to kind of lead the charge for us there. So we've been really proud of that.
Of course, you can work remotely and do those things. Is you take the 4 games and kind of go back and look at them a little bit differently because you did have the time versus having to go and play games and travel?
Yeah, a little bit, I think. And I think, the other thing, you can be a little sneaky. I don't know if anyone from Duke is listening to this broadcast tonight, but obviously with a little more time to prepare, you can throw a few new things in that you don't always get to do this time of year, certainly. So there's a few things a few wrinkles that we may have for them they might not be ready for, which is also a little benefit to this. And
no doubt we will spend some time talking about Duke, the Big Ten ACC Challenge game from Cameron Indoor on Thursday. A little bit about Michigan State as well. And I'd gotten a couple of questions, too, about when this happens, and it probably won't be the last time around the country that the games are canceled. My understanding, non-conference games, if a team is on site or if the team with the issue is traveled, then it would be a forfeit. Non-conference games, because of the Drake game, why wasn't it a forfeit? Because Drake wasn't in Iowa City, is the way I understand it. But then Big Ten games, if there is any issue with a team, that will be a forfeit. Yeah, that's the way I understand it as well. It's interesting, and it'll be interesting to see if this happens, to more teams. Hopefully not. I think a lot of us thought we were maybe behind it, but it does seem like maybe there's a few things kind of kicking back up. Just saw another team today that had to go on a pause. So it will be interesting if that holds. I think that
might incentivize, some behaviors that maybe aren't necessarily what we're after and trying to keep the student athletes healthy. But that is how it stands right now.
Going back to the starting five, Warnock, Sonato, Clark, Marshall, and Martin, it just really amplifies how good those five players are. We talked about the bench. I think Tomi Taiwo's done a terrific job. She had 12 against Southern and did some really good things in previous games as well. And to have that experience, and especially the way she played last year, coming down the stretch in the regular season, the Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, to have that ability to interchange players like that really makes this team, I think, what people really want to see and so fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, the experience and obviously the talent of our starting five, they've been in some really big situations, of course, not necessarily with fans in the stands maybe last year, but they've been in some really big situations. But on top of the talent is just their ability to play together. And our offense requires a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of reads that you're making off of each other. And so having that whole year to really build that chemistry, I think really goes a long way with what we're trying to do offensively. And then, like you mentioned, Tomi, she's a senior. And I think that's part of why you see like an Amanda Ollinger, how people really grow from their freshman year to their senior year and develop, just because the longer you're in our system, obviously, the more you're able to make those reads and kind of run the offense and do the things the way that it needs to be done. You
mentioned the emphasis on defense. What changes did you make? One thing I've seen, the intensity level, especially out on the perimeter, has been very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're trying to get more ball pressure. We changed up a little bit the way we're playing ball screens, trying to make that a little bit more consistent. But the biggest thing with defense, and you hear it all the time when you're around basketball, is it's just heart, it's buy-in. Defense and rebounding is just whether you're willing to work. There's a big communication piece to it, too, which doesn't take any talent. You got to be willing and able to communicate with your teammates. And so really for us, it was just that repetition and that buy-in that has really been the biggest difference for us. And then I think I would say, too, just that depth as well. We played a lot of players a lot of minutes last year, and they had a hard time playing at the level we wanted to at both ends of the floor. So we're really working on trying to get more breaks and get more people, spread those minutes out a little bit more.
It's an important part. You got to play offense. You got to play some defense to be successful. And we are off and running our first show, Hawk Talk with Coach Lisa Bluder, presented by Oaknall here from Bumps at Finkbine Golf Course. If you would like to chime in, have a question or comment, it's 1-877-464-2957, 1-877-464-2957. That's Go Hawks. We'll be right back. More Hawk Talk with Coach Lisa Bluder. Abby Emmert Stamp in for Coach tonight, presented by Oaknall.
There's a sense of pride that comes from the life of a farmer. How many people can say they have a famous tan named after them, or be known for their wave when they drive past neighbors and strangers alike on a two-lane road? Whether it's a farmer's tan or the farmer's wave, we are proud to be known for a lot of things. We feel that pride every night at the dinner table, knowing we feed our family and yours. Iowa Corn is proud to be on the sidelines cheering on the Iowa Hawkeyes. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Check out Bumps Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bumps Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oak Knoll East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oak Knoll has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few two-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Welcome back to Bumps at Finkbine as our first Hawk Talk show of the season. It's going to be a little bit different of a schedule this year just because of games with the men's and the women's programs and different days for the show, but mostly Mondays, there'll be a Tuesday or two, and then next week with a game on Wednesday, it'll be on Thursday night. So we'll be here next Thursday night, December the 9th. 6 to 7 with Hawk Talk after hopefully a big victory against a very good Iowa State team. Tonight's show is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes back Hawkeye fans to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year, and we're all excited about that. Bud Light is for the fans, and also Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for the 9th consecutive year. Proudly supports Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Visit Dodge Street Tire for all of your automotive needs, including the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating 29 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets. And we have our first call of the night and the season. Anthony in Des Moines. Anthony, how are you tonight? Duke in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, as Duke right now 6-0, coming off a victory against Troy at 91-75. You've had a little extra time to dive into the Blue Devils. What do you see?
Yeah, well, Duke, they're a potent offensive team, and they run a motion offense that has a lot of action. It can be a little bit tough type of action for a scout team to emulate as well, so that can always be a little bit of a challenge. But they're guard driven. They've got a couple really good shooters. Their backup point guard comes in is a freshman who's playing really, really well. Was actually named the ACC Player of the Week, I think, this past week. So we are going to have, this is going to be our biggest test to kind of see what we're really made of defensively here. Just this offense is going to pose us a few challenges, but conversely, we think we definitely have an advantage on the inside. Obviously, we think that every night out with Monica Sonano in the game, so we'll be looking to get the ball inside early and often. They do play a little bit heavier ball pressure and denial than what we've seen so far this year as well, but typically our offense works best against that kind of defense.
Against Troy, Duke was 34 of 74 from the floor, 13 of 22 from three-point range, so they'll fire it up from deep, and then just 10 out of 25 from the free throw line. And as you mentioned, that's one of the rare cases where you play a team that only played 4 games last year and has played a fairly light non-conference schedule to date. But as we've seen before, teams like that can ramp it up pretty quick. And, in a historic arena, they've got a home court advantage and trying to get a victory against a top 10 team, which is going to be the case night in and night out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a big game. 2 undefeated teams, ESPN, it's a huge game. There's a lot of hype around it already. Like I mentioned, they run a motion offense, they also have quite a few transfers on their team. So they've got 6 or 7 other players have played at other, BCS schools, UConn, Texas A&M, to name a few. So they've got players that have had a lot of good experience as well, even though they didn't play, a full season last year. But, we just, of course, we feel confident. We know this year we're going to go into games and have more of that target on our back, and we want that. That's what we've been striving for this entire season. We got a little different mentality about us, and we're going to go into that game. We're going to walk off the bus with a lot of confidence with that Iowa on our uniform and step into that historic arena and show them what the Hawks are made of.
And how was it at practice today? Had to be really spirited. I know there's been great competition throughout.
Yeah, it was really good today. There was a lot of smiles, a lot of hugs and everything as everyone was kind of getting back together. But, we had to ramp it right back up. We had to get out there and definitely get up and down, get some scrimmages in, make sure we're getting our legs back under us. For those of you that have played basketball before, a lot of times there's really nothing you can do to be ready to play basketball in basketball shape other than to just get up and down in a real game. So had to get that back under us a little bit today. But, we go after every day. We go against a really talented scout team of guys, and they run, Duke's plays for us for a couple of days. So able to get some good competition in that way today.
Is Duke a team with a lot of plays, or do they just kind of do a read and react?
Yeah, so Carol Lawson, spent some time in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So they've got some actions that are similar to a lot of what you'll see in the NBA. They do a lot of, they bring their post out. Their post doesn't spend a lot of time on the block. She's going to be out on the perimeter setting screens. They do a lot of handoffs, flips, ball screens. We'll play a lot of ball screens. Again, that goes back to just that communication on defense. We've just got to be really willing to talk and help each other and do our best to contain those drives, and then really identify their shooters. Lexi Gordon for their team, she's a senior, one of those transfers, and she's an outstanding shooter. Doesn't need any time, any space, so we're going to have to be on her at all times with our hands high.
Yeah, not afraid of it. Put up 9 against Troy, so have to definitely guard that arc on Thursday night. And going into this game, where do you see the strengths right now for the Hawks, and then things you want to continue to work at to get better?
Yeah, well, I think, we still hang our hat offensively, obviously, and we feel good about what we're doing so far with that. There's still some things we need to clean up and shore up a little bit, but we've been confident in how we've been playing offensively. I do think, again, with our defense as well, we felt good about that. I think one thing that we really want to make sure we focus on moving forward, we've been a really good fast break team. Traditionally, we've been able to really get out and run on people and get those easy buckets in transition, and those are fun for the crowd too. And we need to really get back to being able to run that fast break the way that it's intended to be. So that's a good focus for us. And then, I think a big thing is going to be just continuing to kind of figure out how teams are going to defend Caitlin and be able to, kind of like you mentioned with the COVID, just being able to adjust, right? Have game plans and being able to adjust within games as new things are thrown at us all the time.
Well, and she found out last year that there's going to be a lot of different defenses thrown at her, so there can't be many more this year that you see versus what she had to go through a season ago.
Yeah, that's true, and she's very thankful too. Her teammates are just so good that it's really hard to play a lot of that junk defense against us because there's no one out there on the floor that you can just let shoot the ball. We're just so potent and balanced that way, so that helps out quite a bit. But she's going to get denied a lot, and that can be frustrating as an offensive player. You're having to work really hard, and it can be hard to get the ball back, and it takes a lot out of you. So I think for her too, just the mental aspect of that, and being able to kind of keep her head and her cool, and I think she's done a really good job of that so far this year. Just staying in the game, she's playing better defense, and I think just overall bringing more to the game besides her scoring, which I think is important for us.
You mentioned Monica Sonano, and boy, she's just been so good, all Big Ten performer in the middle, and then Addie O'Grady's had to be pushed into probably more playing time than you thought if Sharon Goodman is going to be here this season. And how has she performed? It looks like she seems pretty comfortable down on the block.
Yeah, she does. She's one that obviously she's the tallest player on our team. I think when she got to campus, we were all kind of like, oh gosh, we forgot how tall you are, when you're recruiting you. This is, but so she's done a great job, and as we know, Jan does an outstanding job developing our posts, and they just learn from each other day in and day out. Even today, Monica was correcting Addie on something she did on her crossover, just a little something with her elbow that could help her with that crossover be just a little bit more effective for her. So yeah, we're pleased with with what we've seen from her. Obviously, she's a little bit different of a post player in that she can step out, has a little bit more range, and hasn't been afraid to shoot it thus far. So, she's a good offensive player. She can really get up and down the floor for us as well, and I think we can take advantage of her in the fast break.
And Kylie Feuerbach, too, coming off the bench, was really good at UNI. Hit a couple of threes, a transfer from Iowa State. A big week for her, especially next week. But she seems to be more and more comfortable in this offense as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of goes into that, just like I was saying, the offense takes a little while to get a feel for, and I think Kylie and sometimes all freshmen just flat out overthink it and get a little lost in, I got to do this, should I go there, should I, because there are a lot of reads with it. But, we just kind of really stress with Kylie. I mean, man, you've played in a lot of big games. You played an entire season on a top 20 team, and you know what you're doing out there. She's so quick to get downhill and to the rim, and she's done a great job just having her feet ready and catch and shoot rhythm threes, knocking those down as well. So I think she's someone that's going to be really, really good in this offense as she continues to go through it.
1-877-464-2957, 1-877-GO-HAWKS if you have a comment or a question. And we'll be right back with more Hawk Talk presented by Oaknall from Learfield.
Anything can happen when the Cyclones and Hawkeyes come to compete. It's where the rubber meets the road. Neighbors become rivals and friends become foes. Some go home broken-hearted, while others are victorious. When the dust finally settles, one thing stands true. No matter which side you're on, you're part of tradition for those who are Iowan through and through. We're Iowa Corn, a proud sponsor of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Bachmeyer Carpet One Floor and Home, Klosterman Construction, Almost Famous Popcorn, and Jill Armstrong Realty, the area's premier realtor. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, contact the Jill Armstrong team for all your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Check out Bump's Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bump's Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
The holiday season is here. Time for laughter and time for cheer. This year, enjoy spending time celebrating with family and friends. Just remember, buzz driving is drunk driving. If you're going to drink, plan another way home before the celebration begins and encourage your friends and family to do the same. Even one too many drinks increases the risk of a crash while driving. Be responsible and have a happy holidays. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oaknall East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oaknall. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oaknall has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few two-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oaknall.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Oh, you know that old injury of yours? The one in your knee or maybe back? Instead of going to the doctor and then doing physical therapy, why not start with therapy first? Athletico Physical Therapy is changing the whole healing process around. Their physical therapists will find the source of your pain and help fix it. Start with them and start living pain-free. Just like that.
It all starts with Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com. No prescription needed. Proud partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Welcome back to Bumps, our first Hawk Talk show of the season. Appreciate everybody showing up. It's been a couple of years since we did this. Certainly had Hawk Talk last year, but I was at Kinnick, and Coach Bluder was either at home or in her office, so we did the Zoom thing, but made it work. But it's much nicer to be here and to see everybody. And, of course, the Iowa football team, after a big victory against Nebraska, Big Ten championship game this week, and then a bowl game later on, hopefully right around January 1st or even little bit later than that. And you want to make sure that you sign up to automatically receive official bowl travel information at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central when the game is announced, and that will be on Sunday. You'll immediately receive information on game tickets, air travel, hotel. That's HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central, presented by Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited, and Iowa's official bowl tour. Blue is caring, blue is convenient, and now blue is Medicare Advantage from Wellmark Advantage Health Plan, offering all-in-one Medicare coverage, our extensive network, and the confidence of being covered by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more at wellmarkadvantage.com. Let's go to the phone lines. Anthony has another question. Anthony from Des Moines, how are you?
Pretty good, Rob. Coach, how you guys doing this evening?
Very good.
Yeah, doing well. Thanks.
I hope you guys enjoy this nice warm weather before it gets cold again. But
I'm all for it.
Anyway, Coach, with you coming up on Thursday night, do you see yourselves a real big test for this game on Thursday night at Duke? And also for you, Coach, what player, Hawkeye player so far this season impresses you so far this season? And Coach, I'll hang up and listen, and go Hawks. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Those are great questions. And yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a big test for us at Duke. It would have been nice to obviously have that Drake game and Seton Hall, USC. We're going to kind of, just ramp up a little bit from the competition that we had in our 4-0 start. So this is a little bit of a jump, not one that you make typically this way coming off a break like this. But like I said, we just have so much confidence in our team, and our team has confidence in themselves. I mean, they're talented, they've worked hard, and they just know that we're going to be ready to play on Thursday night. Even though it's not till 9 o'clock at night, we'll have to find some things to keep ourselves busy throughout the day. But we're going to be ready to go. You're right, it's a huge test, but we're excited about it. And the other question was who has impressed me so far this season, and I would be right up there with Rob on Tomi Taiwo. She's just been a huge spark for us, both in practice, honestly, and coming in off the bench in games. The way she is shooting the ball in practice is just incredible. We do some fun drills for them after practice every day, have them stick around and have some kind of competition shooting drills that we have a lot of fun with. We give some prizes for them. Tomi, and honestly, our shooters are just really good. So I've had to adjust some of the drills, make them more challenging to get. And I made one of them just darn near impossible. Like I just could not think anyone would get this drill, and Tomi knocked it out in the second try and just made it look easy. So she's just doing a great job, and it's been so fun to see her growth from her freshman year to her senior year. I think that's what our coaching staff is all about, seeing them develop not only as players but as young women, and Tomi's just been a shining example of that. We're just really excited about the year ahead for her, and then obviously her future as well.
Competition, you got to love it, and you got to have competitive players, and this is a competitive group. We'll go back to Des Moines and bring in John. John, how are you? Okay. Well, if he has another question, he can call back. And before we take another break, Abby, talk about game schedules because, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Central. How does that adjust shoot-arounds, meals, things like that? Because it's a lot of sitting around in a hotel to wait for a 9 o'clock basketball game.
It is, yeah, and especially, with a big game, too, that we're really hyped up for. We do a lot of work, actually, with a sports psychologist with our team throughout the year, and that's one thing we really work on with them is just, you can't obviously wake up at 8 in the morning and be hyped for a 9 p.m. game and be hyped through the entire day. You'll burn all of your energy. You won't have it for game time. So we really work with them on being able to kind of focus that energy in and then space it out. A lot of them will spend time studying, but then they got to find some time to relax. They get some naps in and things like that. Our shoot-around will be later in the day, and our pregame meal as well. And we'll get back pretty late, obviously, and then have to turn around for that Michigan State game. So typically we practice in the morning right now this time of year, but we were fortunate enough that we're able to move a practice back on Friday so that we don't have, a quick turnaround to turn around prep for Michigan State.
Yeah, because right now game times sometimes 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 in the afternoon, 11 a.m. sometimes. So you just got to adjust and be ready for anything.
Absolutely. I mean, I think about this 9 o'clock game and kind of make some jokes of it, but I think, has it been 2 years in a row now that we've played the 9 o'clock game at the Big Ten tournament?
Right, yes.
The late game there. So, like you said, you do it once, and then when it comes up on you again at the NCAA or the Big Ten or wherever it may be, then you're ready for it and you've done it before. So it's a good thing.
And sometimes we're lucky if that game starts at 9 o'clock.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's been successful for sure. Well, coming up next, of course, this is Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series week, wrestling, women's basketball, men's basketball. I had a chance to sit down with Lance Lillie, president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association. And after the break, we will have a chat with Lance. And we'll be back with more Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll. We'll do that from Learfield.
In Iowa, we grow corn, a lot of corn. We love seeing our farmers in the fields, and although they're perfect strangers, we know them. We know them by their equipment covered in dust. We know them by their work ethic, where days off don't exist. We know them by the way they wave, passing strangers alike on a two-lane road. We know them in the midst of our kitchen as we prepare another family meal. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. The Iowa corn farmers are proud to be on the sidelines for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Check out Bump's Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bump's Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime.
The holiday season is here. Time for laughter and time for cheer. This year, enjoy spending time celebrating with family and friends. Just remember, buzz driving is drunk driving. If you're going to drink, plan another way home before the celebration begins and encourage your friends and family to do the same. Even one too many drinks increases the risk of a crash while driving. Be responsible and have a happy holidays. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
Get ready to rock into 2022 at Riverside Casino and Golf Resort. Earn entries in December for your chance to win one of 2 brand new Honda CR-Vs. Grand prize drawings will be held on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. On New Year's Eve night, America's premier classic rock tribute band, Arch Allies, will perform in the newly remodeled Events Center. Tickets are on sale now at riversidecasinoandresort.com.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk. I'm Rob Brooks, and pleased to be joined by Lance Lillie, the president of the Iowa Corn Growers, as we get ready for the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series and kind of the winter portion of it, of course, with 2 big basketball games next week, wrestling on the horizon as well. Of course, the Iowa women against nationally ranked Iowa State will be on December the 8th from Hilton Coliseum in Ames, and certainly look forward to that. And Lance, first off, appreciate you taking the time, number one, and two, just tell me where you live, what you farm, what you got into it, and how things are going in 2021.
Sure. You bet. So, yeah, I'm Lance Lillie, current sitting president for the Iowa Corn Growers Association. I live in Benton, Iowa, which is in Benton County. My wife and I and my 2 children, Tess and Ty, we farm approximately 2,000 acres, and then we custom farm some ground as well. So when it's all said and done, we get over about 3,000 acres of corn, soybeans, hay. We also have a red Angus cow calf herd. And so that keeps us plenty busy.
I'm sure it does. And about the membership of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, numbers, involvement from all over the state?
Yeah, so, membership is to the Iowa Corn Growers Association is just, I've been enlightened over the years and how valuable being a member of Iowa Corn is to me and to my farm. And it's just incredible. And most folks don't realize the value that we have in the Iowa Corn Growers Association and what that brings to the bushel of corn and what it also brings to our consumers. And so if you're not a member, I would love to see every farmer out there become a member. And you don't have to be a farmer to be a member either. If you want to support, Iowa corn growers, you can absolutely become a member as well. You don't have to be a farmer. And the things that we do legislatively and across the globe with trade and with our ethanol market here in the United States, the things that we do with soil conservation and working with farmers it's second to none. It's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, you look at the number one crop in the state. How is it that the Iowa Corn Association really talked about the foundation of the state's economy too? And as you mentioned, ethanol, a big part of that.
Yeah, so we're number one producer in ethanol, and that the liquid fuel market has always been kind of a hot topic when it comes to climate change and carbon footprints, and stuff like that. And I tell you, there really is very, very difficult to beat the ethanol liquid fuel, any kind of biofuel as far as that goes when it comes to carbon market and being aware of climate change. We can do more with ethanol right now with the availability that we have. We are very good at growing corn. We're very good at producing ethanol. We can make a difference right now, not 10 years from now, not 20 years from now, but right now, today.
And what is the association working on right now from a marketing perspective and also from an educational standpoint?
So iowacorn.org has excellent information on it as far as if you want to be educated to what the ethanol is doing and what corn is doing all across the globe. Corn's used in over 4,000 products, and you can go into any grocery store and see that corn is in so many products. It's just such an awesome plant and renewable. But we work with the United States Grains Council globally to market corn, and we work with USMEF, United Meat Export Federation, and to market beef and pork and poultry and across the globe. And that is so crucial to Iowa. Iowa is number one in so many things, and it's the foundation of our economy right here in Iowa. It's so important.
Lance, well said. And the fact too that Iowa Corn's just been involved for a long time with the Cy-Hawk series. What's it mean to your association?
Well, I tell you what, we really love working with Learfield and the Cy-Hawk series. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way for us to connect with consumers. The Cy-Hawk series is not just an Iowa thing, but the whole nation actually tunes into what's going on with the Cyclones and the Hawkeyes, and so it gets very exciting to see how we reach people and the feedback that we get from that. So it's a great partnership. Love working with you guys. We love these student athletes. Our colleges are fantastic. They're second to none in the nation as well. They're awesome.
Well said, Lance. And don't forget, Lance talked about iowacorn.org for more information. And also, you can also follow Iowa Corn on Facebook as well. And, the state, we're all in this together. There's no doubt about that. And Iowa Corn is proud to sponsor this series, of course, to promote more than 4,000 corn-grown products that fuel our economy in this great state. Lance, appreciate your time. And we'll see if we get some good hoops games next week. So I'm sure we will.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Rob, for having me.
Lance Lillie, president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association. We'll have more Hawk Talk after the break.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, Bachmeyer Carpet One, Floor and Home, Klosterman Construction, and the Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, named Iowa Tourism's 2021 Hotel of the Year and awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Get your COVID-19 and flu vaccines at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and there's no appointment necessary. And when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee Fuel Saver reward. That's right, get a 20-cent Fuel Saver reward when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee. Plus, you can save time and even schedule an appointment in advance at hyvee.com/my-pharmacy. Hy-Vee is here to help you stay healthy. Get vaccinated against COVID-19 and the flu at Hy-Vee today.
Check out Bump's Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bump's Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Bachmeyer Carpet One, Floor and Home, the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, and Klosterman Construction, building custom homes for 20 years. Klosterman Construction is a premier custom home builder doing everything from remodels to exclusive custom homes. Klosterman takes the stress out of your building project. Award-winning designs, quality craftsmanship, and superior customer service. Call 319-545-7088.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Appreciate Lance Lillie, president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, for his involvement and the association's involvement in the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. Always a lot of fun, competitive, and of course we know what corn does for the state of Iowa, and it certainly grows the state. Corn grows livestock, our economy, our athletes, so put your best face for the Iowa Corn Cam. Follow Iowa Corn on Facebook to be corn-fed. And, of course, we'll be right here all season long for Hawk Talk, as it is presented by Oaknall right here at Bump's Restaurant from 6 until 7. Next week will be on Thursday night, the night after the Iowa State game. And the full show schedule can be found under the Connect tab at HawkeyeSports.com. And, of course, the Big Ten ACC Challenge tomorrow and Thursday. We'll dive into that to close out the show, but also want to remember to get everybody out for the Michigan State game, a Big Ten game sandwiched in between the non-conference schedule. And that is a 3 o'clock tip, the Hawkeyes and the Spartans. And a very good offensive team where that defense is going to have to be ready to go. And so far, so good at the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really looking forward to that Sunday game. We have a lot of good Sunday home games on the slate this year, so we'll be fun to have the crowd with us. And I have a lot of good memories of Michigan State at home. I don't know if everybody remembers, but that's when we retired Megan Gustafson's jersey a few years ago. So good memory of that. But yeah, we've been talking about our defense a little bit here, and our offense has obviously kept pace with where we want it to be. Had to do a little prep tonight coming in. in, for Lisa Bluder, filling in for her. You got to make sure you're ready to go. So I had to look up some stats. And,
you don't want to answer to her later on
Yeah,
tonight.
Exactly. And I had to see kind of where we're at with things. Only 4 games into the season on our end, a few more for other folks. But we're currently 3rd in the country in, scoring, field goal percentage, those kind of categories. 1st in 3-pointers per game. So really doing a great job on the offensive end. Had to pull over to our defensive numbers, see kind of where we are. We're ranked 84th in scoring defense, which I will not tell you what the number was last year, but I can tell you it wasn't 84. It might have had another digit in there for sure.
You know exactly what it is.
Yeah. So, but even when you look at that, when you think about, our team and the style we play, I think you have to actually look deeper into that and look more at field goal percentage defense, just because we play such a fast pace. Teams are going to get more shots up against us than they will against others. So our field goal percentage defense was actually 19th in the country. So top 20 in the country is something that I think we can be really proud of. Like I said, just 4 games in, and we're going to have a lot more big tests, starting with Duke, and then of course Michigan State coming in, and obviously Iowa State the next week. But something that I think our players are proud of and take some pride in, and we can kind of pack that with us when we head over to North Carolina.
One thing that happened at the Southern game that I'm not sure a lot of people remember or realize, but the 33 out of 38 from the free throw line, the 33 made free throws, that tied a Carver Hawkeye Arena record.
Wow. Yeah, I did not realize that myself. I know the game took a long time because there was a lot of free throws. It didn't have the best flow to it, but that's pretty cool to be able to set a record. And yeah, we're shooting 86% from the free throw line on the season, which is just an outstanding number. Actually, today we did a little drill in practice, and they said everybody shot 100%. Everybody made all of them. And we kind of questioned them, and they said, no, we did. And so, yeah, they do a great job at the line, and we know it's important, right? It comes down a lot of time. The game comes down to the free throw line. So
sure does. Well, keep it around 86% would be terrific. And, of course, the Big Ten ACC Challenge, Iowa and Duke, 9 o'clock Eastern tip, but 8 o'clock Central on Thursday night. And looking at some of the other big games, I think it's always a fun way to kind of start out the month of December, especially with the in-state games, and you put in a Big Ten ACC game. Rutgers is at Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech at Purdue. These are games tomorrow night. Number 18, Ohio State at Syracuse, and North Carolina at Minnesota. Minnesota took care of Bradley at home last week. And then Notre Dame at Michigan State. We'll watch that one early on Thursday night. Penn State at Boston College. Florida State is at Illinois. And then North Carolina State. This will be a marquee one along with Iowa and Duke. North Carolina State at number 2 in the country against number 6 Indiana from Bloomington. That'll be a terrific basketball game, as will Michigan at number 10 or 5 Louisville. And then Miami of Florida at Maryland. So a lot of teams playing very good basketball as expected at the top of the league. Michigan, Ohio State, of course, the Hawkeyes undefeated, Indiana, and Maryland. And then having those 3 teams in the top 10 to start the season show you how good this conference is going to be.
Yeah, definitely. And we knew that, obviously, last year, the Big Ten performed outstanding in the NCAA tournament, and a lot of players coming back. And for the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of players coming back due to that COVID year. So there's not many people that are graduating, unfortunately, of these really talented players. But yeah, Indiana, I think this past week, you saw kind of scores just all over the place from the Big Ten. There were some good performances, some performances that were a little surprising. I know Maryland had a few injuries, and they're trying to get back and get healthy. But yeah, once this tips off in December, it'll be fun to see kind of how we stack up against the ACC here this week. But then, once it tips off in December next week, we're all going to be keeping a close eye on those scores night in and night out, and that race will heat up quickly.
It won't take a lot of time to get that Big Ten campaign rocking and rolling. And, of course, we'll be on the air Thursday night on the Hawkeye Radio Network and the Varsity app, and also HawkeyeSports.com. So appreciate you tune into the broadcast. It'll be 7:45 for the pregame show. We'll get Coach Bluder's comments, and then 8 o'clock the tip Central Time. Abby, great job and great to see you. We'll see you on the airplane tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thanks, Rob.
Iowa and Duke on Thursday. Iowa and Michigan State on
the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. This has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Iowa Hawkeyes basketball. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Governor's Traffic and Safety Bureau by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. By University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. And by Authentic Brand. Look authentic, feel authentic, be authentic. Get your game day gear online at authentic-brand.com. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeyes Sports Network.